is the Hot Zone. Engaging with the news in a whole new way, international war correspondent Chuck Holton brings insight into areas of crisis and lets you help those affected.
Well, it's Syria day 9, and we're in Raqqa. Check this out. I'm on a rooftop overlooking the city of Raqqa, which is still pretty well destroyed from the fighting that happened here up until 2017. Now, I'm told that they've made a lot of progress in rebuilding the city, and this building I'm standing on is a testimony to that, I suppose. But you can still see a tremendous amount of war damage all over, everywhere you look. So as I look down here, I can see destroyed buildings, destroyed floors of buildings. There are bullet holes in just about every surface that you look at. I mean, bullet holes in every wall. Look down there. Look at this. Bullet holes all over, and caved in roofs over here, and just a lot of destruction. This was, as you know, the ISIS Caliphate headquarters. And so we're here to dedicate the Armenian Apostolic Church that used to stand on this spot up until 2014 when it was destroyed by ISIS. And today, you see right down there below me, there is the new church that was rebuilt with funds from Dave Eubank and the Free Burma Rangers and other donors that they put together. It took a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of effort, and even just a few weeks ago it was not quite finished, but we just finished the dedication ceremony and it was really fantastic. Some actual Armenians showed up. So just so that I remember, I interviewed these 3 Armenians here and asked them how they felt about coming back to this church now that it's been rebuilt. And they said things like, I feel like I've become a Christian all over again. And we didn't have anywhere to go, and now we do. And I feel like I can proclaim my Christianity and make the sign of the cross without fear here in this new church. Because while they may have lost some territory in Artsakh,
فلربما هم فقدوا شيء معين بسبب الإرهاب هناك بس
they have a new house of worship here in Raqqa.
لديهم مكان آخر وعلاقات كثير بناءة بالمنطقة هون.
And my prayer is that God will fill it with believers.
فكمان إنه صلاتي ودعائي إنه الله دائما إنه أنتوا دائما تحسوا بحب الله خلوه مزروع بقلبكم.
Who will change Raqqa with the love of God. And that was really excellent. I am tickled pink at the response that we got, and not only from Christians, but there were Muslims at this ceremony. There were apparently many Muslims here in Raqqa who actually donated money to rebuild the church because they were so disgusted by what ISIS did here. And you know, that gives me hope. I mean, I've heard from so many Muslims that if ISIS represents Islam, I don't want to have anything to do with Islam. And they are, there's been a big backlash against the brutality of Daesh. And when I talked to people on the street last night, they said, we never want to see those guys again. We never want them back here. And obviously, most of the population did not support them. I guess that's what happens when you brutalize the population, is that you're not going to get a lot of support from them. And when the population doesn't support you, ultimately, you're going to fail. You have to have the hearts of the people, otherwise your cause will not stand. So it was really a special time just now, having our dedication ceremony back here. And I pray that of the 150 or so families, Christian families, who used to worship at this church and the adjoining, they used to have a school here as well that was destroyed. now there are something like a dozen Christians, not 150 families, not a dozen families, a dozen total Christians. And I think only 2 of them are women. They're almost all middle-aged men. How's it going? So they've got some rebuilding to do of the actual church. That's the body of people who attends the building. But now at least they have a building. They have a central place of worship. If you're the praying sort, I would pray that that building gets protected supernaturally. There's already a couple of bullet holes in the front of the building, even in just a couple of weeks. And of course, car bombs and that sort of thing are very common in this part of the world. There was one last night that went off here in town that we responded to see if there were any injuries. Fortunately, there were not. No, go ahead.
We were looking for you. We have an Armenian fighter.
Oh, wow.
He is a member from our forces, MFS forces. We looked for you in everywhere, but we didn't saw you.
Oh, I was up there.
But we have a chance to meet him later.
Great, okay.
If we have time.
Fantastic, that'd be great.
His name is Firas. He was during the war here with us. He paid jizya for ISIS.
Oh, wow.
17 gold grams for each month or each 6 months,
wow.
I think. I looked for you, me and the Korean one, but we didn't saw you.
Okay, great. Yeah, we'll interview him. No problem. That's Commander Aram. He's a Christian, half Armenian Christian, who commands many of the forces here. And so, are we rolling out or what are we doing?
Yeah.
We going to the, what you call it, the Coliseum?
I don't know what we're doing, man.
Okay.
I thought we were going to the Idlib IDPs.
Oh, right. Okay.
You know, I had it wrong like once before.
Okay, one. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. We're going to see the IDPs now?
Okay, then you can leave his van here and just get in the car.
IDPs now?
Yeah.
All the vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready to go, bud?
Yes.
This is my good friend Mohammed. He's a fine human being. One of the best.
You are the best. You are our hero.
You're the best.
You are our hero.
No, you're the hero. Such a great group of guys here. I'm really glad to be a part of it. All right, we're going to go see some IDPs now.
I'm a pastor at a Fulton, Maryland, and I am friends with David Eubanks. And he told me that he was going to Iraq and Syria, and I asked him if he had any needs. And one was particularly rebuilding the church in Syria, and that captured my heart, and I wanted to be part of that. The next step was he needed $60,000 to complete the project, and so I went to my supervisor and my lead pastor and asked them if they could make a contribution, and they came back with $30,000 offer. But then I went back and I said, why don't we just give $60,000 and fulfill this mission?
Big miracle. This is the Armenian Apostolic Church rebuilt by God's power of love, the Raqqa Civil Council, and our good friends who prayed, and those who gave the funds necessary to get it done. Kyle Stallings and Pastor Tay and his church in Baltimore, our friend Franklin and his friends, so many people helped this church rebuild, and we just thank God.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Yeah, during this pandemic, one of the most difficult things is keeping the church unified, because everyone has different view about vaccine and mask. But when we heard about the church being destroyed by ISIS, we wanted to rebuild this church, because that is the kingdom of God going forth in the Middle East.
The Hot Zone is produced by Amy Holton and Livefire Media.
Copyright 2021.